Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why some people walk into a room and the entire energy shifts? They don't speak louder than others. They don't try to prove anything. Yet somehow, everyone notices them. They don't chase it. They don't beg for it. It comes to them as a result of who they've become. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people will never reach this level. They spend their lives trying to force power. They manipulate, they shout, they boast. But deep down, they remain weak and reactive. Stoicism teaches us the exact opposite. It teaches us that when you master your mind, when you become unshakable internally, the external world starts to mirror that strength back to you. This is where true power is born. But here's the part most people miss. This is not about pretending to be strong. This is about forging real strength through discipline, self-awareness, and emotional control. It's about facing your darkest impulses and defeating them. It's about training your mind until power is no longer something you seek, it's something you attract. And today on Stoic Wind, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. We will blend timeless Stoic principles with cutting-edge dark psychology to give you an edge few people will ever possess. But before we start, I want you to do one thing. Comment below, "I am the master of my mind," because by the time you finish this video, you won't just believe this. You will embody it. Let's begin. Let's first understand what real power is, because here's where most people are completely wrong. They think power is about status, money, followers, control over others. But the Stoics taught something far more profound and dangerous if you truly apply it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In other words, true power starts within. It begins when you no longer react to life's storms, when your emotions no longer control your actions, and when the opinions of others lose their grip on your mind. You see, power that is based on external things can be taken from you in an instant. Your wealth can vanish, your reputation can be destroyed, but the person who has trained their mind remains untouchable. Imagine facing betrayal and remaining calm. Imagine losing what you value most and standing firm. Imagine being insulted publicly and smiling with indifference. That is true power. And here's the irony. When you stop chasing power and focus on inner mastery, the very things others chase begin to flow toward you naturally. Influence, respect, opportunities. People will sense your strength, even if they can't explain it. But remember, this path is not glamorous. It requires relentless inner work. The Stoics practice this daily, through reflection, journaling, and deliberate exposure to discomfort. They trained their minds like warriors trained their bodies. If you want power to follow you naturally, you must do the same. Now, I want you to reinforce this mindset. Scroll down right now and comment again. "I am the master of my mind." The more you say it, the more you start to believe it. And belief is where transformation begins. Stay with me, because in the next section, I'll reveal why most people chase power in ways that guarantee they fail, and how you can avoid this trap. Now, here's the hard truth. Most people will never reach this level of power. Not because they can't, but because they chase it in all the wrong ways. Look around you. How many people do you see desperately trying to impress others? They flaunt their money, they exaggerate their achievements, they try to dominate conversations, but deep down, they're insecure. They fear being insignificant, and this fear drives them to chase power as if it's something outside themselves. The Stoics would call this a form of slavery. Slavery to public opinion, to status, to ego. Epictetus said it perfectly. No man is free who is not master of himself. And here lies the paradox. The more you chase power externally, the more you reveal your weakness, you become dependent on the approval of others, you become reactive, And worst of all, you lose the ability to control yourself. The very foundation of power. Modern dark psychology confirms this. When people sense you are needy for power or attention, they instinctively withhold it. But when they sense that you do not need it, that you are complete in yourself, they are drawn to you. They want to follow you. They respect you. This is why the Stoics trained themselves to be indifferent to both praise and criticism. They knew that external validation is a trap. And here's where your opportunity lies. Stop chasing power. Start building it from within. If you've been guilty of seeking validation, recognize it, forgive yourself, and now commit to a new path, the Stoic path. Type it once more in the comments. I am the master of my mind. Every time you type it, you reinforce this new identity. And in the next section, I'll show you the first concrete discipline to start building this unstoppable inner power. Stay tuned. Now let's get practical. You understand that true power comes from within. You understand that chasing it will only lead to failure. But how do you actually start training your mind so that power follows you naturally? The first discipline is this: mastering your attention. In today's world, your attention is under constant attack. Notifications, endless scrolling, cheap entertainment, all designed to fragment your mind and weaken your focus. And here's the danger. A mind that cannot focus cannot be powerful. It is reactive, distracted, and easily manipulated. Marcus Aurelius trained his attention ruthlessly. In his meditations, he constantly reminded himself to be present, to focus only on what was within his control. The modern Stoic must do the same. Start by cutting out the noise, reduce digital distractions, set times for deep, uninterrupted work. Practice focusing on one thing at a time. And here's a deeper layer. Begin observing your own thoughts. Notice when your mind wanders. Notice when impulses arise. The act of noticing is the first step toward mastery. Dark psychology teaches us another truth. Those who can control their attention can control their emotions, and those who can control their emotions can control their actions. This chain leads directly to power. Imagine facing a provocation and choosing your response instead of reacting. Imagine staying laser-focused on your goals while others drown in distractions. This is how you begin to separate yourself from the masses. And this is only the first step, but it is foundational. Without a trained mind, no other power can be sustained. So here is your task. Today, start practicing focused attention. Rise the noise. Observe your mind. Strengthen this muscle daily. And as always, remind yourself by typing it below. I am the master of my mind. This is your path. Walk it with discipline. In the next section, I will show you how to build emotional immunity. You won't want to miss this. Now let's talk about one of the deadliest forms of power, emotional immunity. You see, most people walk around like emotional puppets. One insult ruins their day. One failure shatters their confidence. One piece of bad news sends them spiraling. If you are that easy to control emotionally, you will never hold real power. And worse, those who understand dark psychology will exploit you relentlessly. This is why the Stoics trained themselves to become immune to the emotional games of the world. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." In other words, it's not the events themselves that destroy us. It's our uncontrolled emotional reactions to them. The goal is not to become cold or indifferent. The goal is to become deliberate. To choose your emotional state instead of being a slave to it. Here's how you start. First, develop awareness. When an emotion arises, anger, fear, jealousy, pause. Observe it. Do not act immediately. This pause is your first line of defense. Second, question the emotion. Ask yourself, is this useful? Is this true? Is this within my control? Often you'll realize that most emotions are based on false assumptions or illusions. Third, Train yourself through voluntary discomfort. Practice delaying gratification. Expose yourself to controlled stress. The more you train under pressure, the stronger your emotional resilience becomes. And remember, the person who cannot be emotionally manipulated is a terrifying force. They are immune to praise, immune to criticism, immune to fear. This is the kind of power you must build. Start today. And once again, type it below to reinforce this mindset. I am the master of my mind. This is not just a phrase, it is a declaration of war against emotional weakness. In the next section, we'll go deeper. I'll show you how mastering the art of detachment will make you unstoppable in a world driven by desire and fear. Stay sharp. Now we come to one of the most misunderstood, yet most powerful weapons in the Stoic arsenal: detachment. Most people think detachment means not caring about anything. They imagine a life of cold indifference. But that's not what the Stoics taught. Real detachment means this: you engage fully with life, you love deeply, you strive for excellence, but you do not cling to outcomes. You remain unshaken whether fortune smiles or turns against you. Epictetus said, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." Attachment to what is not up to you is the root of suffering. And when you are attached, you become vulnerable. You can be controlled through rewards, through threats, through the fear of loss. Detachment severs these chains. Imagine pursuing success, not because your self-worth depends on it, but because it aligns with your values. Imagine loving someone deeply, but with the inner strength to walk away if respect is lost. Imagine striving for greatness, yet remaining calm in the face of failure. This is the power of detachment. Dark psychology reveals a hidden truth. People are drawn to those they cannot control. When you are detached from their approval, they become fascinated by your independence. They respect you, sometimes even fear you. You gain power simply by refusing to be emotionally enslaved. So how do you build detachment? Start with awareness. Notice where you are clinging to: status, relationships, possessions. Then practice loosening that grip. Visualize loss. Remind yourself that nothing external is truly yours. Train yourself to value your inner state above all else. And remember, this is a daily practice. The more you embody it, the more untouchable you become. So once again, claim it. Type below, "I am the master of my mind." We are not done yet. In the next section, I'll show you how to cultivate an inner fortress so powerful that no storm can shake it. Stay with me. Now it's time to build what the Stoics called the inner fortress, a state of mind so solid, so grounded, that no external force can shake it. Marcus Aurelius described it perfectly. The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes. The obstacle to our acting, the impediment to action, advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. You see, most people crumble under pressure because they never built this fortress within. They rely on comfort, on routine, on external validation. So when life strikes, they fall. But you must be different. To cultivate your inner fortress, you must deliberately expose yourself to challenges. Voluntary discomfort is one of the fastest ways to build mental toughness. Train in the cold, fast occasionally, do hard things daily. Each time you overcome discomfort, a brick is added to your fortress. And just as important, practice negative visualization. The Stoics imagined worst-case scenarios not to dwell in fear, but to strip fear of its power. When you've mentally rehearsed loss, insult, failure, you meet reality with calm readiness. Dark psychology teaches us another principle. Those who radiate calm under pressure naturally dominate chaotic environments. They are seen as leaders. People gravitate toward the strongest energy in the room. And in times of crisis, that strength is priceless. But remember, the fortress is built daily. It requires relentless discipline. Journaling helps, reflection helps, but action is key. Seek discomfort, train resilience, fortify your mind until no praise inflates you and no insult deflates you, until loss does not break you and gain does not control you. Now, if you are committed to this level of inner mastery, type it once more. I am the master of my mind. The more you repeat it, the deeper it takes root. In the next section, we take this power to another level. I'll show you how to use dark psychology ethically to stay 2 steps ahead of those who seek to manipulate you. Let's go deeper. Now let's go deeper, into a space few dare to explore. Dark psychology. Understand this. The world is full of manipulators. People will try to exploit your emotions, your desires, your fears, to control you. But if you've trained your mind, built emotional immunity, mastered detachment, and cultivated an inner fortress, you become very hard to manipulate. And here's where the real edge lies. When you understand how manipulation works, you not only protect yourself, you can turn the game in your favor. First, study the tools manipulators use: guilt tripping, love bombing, gaslighting, playing on your need for validation. The Stoics taught us to be vigilant about our judgments. Question every narrative being fed to you. Is it true? Or is someone trying to bend your perception for their gain? Second, control your reactions. Manipulators thrive on your emotional responses. When you stay calm, silent, and centered, you deny them their fuel. Silence is often more powerful than any defense. Third, use strategic indifference. When others realize they can't shake you emotionally, they either respect you or lose interest in trying, and if necessary, mirror their tactics. Ethically, use calculated pauses. Ask uncomfortable questions, reveal their inconsistencies, but always operate from a place of control, not ego. Remember, this is not about becoming cold or cruel. It's about protecting your power and positioning yourself to lead in any environment. In a world where emotional chaos is the norm, calm clarity is a superpower. And here is your anchor. Remind yourself again, I am the master of my mind. Type it below. This is the mindset that makes you unbreakable. In the next section, we'll talk about the subtle signs that power is beginning to follow you naturally, so you can recognize your progress and stay on the path. Don't miss it. At this point, you might wonder, how will I know if this is working? How will I know when I've started to train my mind to such a level that power is beginning to follow me naturally? The signs are subtle at first, but once you see them, you can't unsee them. The first sign is this: people begin to treat you differently. You'll notice that others listen more when you speak. They seek your opinion. They hesitate to challenge you without good reason. This doesn't happen because you've demanded respect. It happens because you've earned it through presence and self-mastery. Second, you find yourself less reactive. Situations that once triggered anxiety or anger now pass through you like wind through an open window. This emotional stability is magnetic. In a world addicted to reactivity, your calm will stand out. Third, your circle shifts. Manipulative and negative people will start to drift away, either because they can't influence you or because they feel exposed in your presence. At the same time, people of strength and integrity will be drawn toward you. Power recognizes power. Fourth, you develop a deep sense of inner peace. You no longer chase validation. You no longer fear loss. You act with intention. You move through life as the master of your mind, not its slave. And here is one final sign. You become harder to ignore. Opportunities begin to present themselves. People want to be around your energy. You won't need to fight for attention. Attention will come to you. But remember, this is not the end of the path. Power must be maintained through daily discipline. Never become complacent. The moment you stop training the mind, the fortress begins to weaken. So if you're seeing these signs, or if you're committed to reaching this level, type it once more below. I am the master of my mind. In the final section, I will leave you with the closing words. The Stoic warrior's path to lasting, unstoppable power. Let's finish strong. You've now walked through the core principles of training your mind until power follows you naturally. But before we close, remember this. This path is not for everyone. It requires daily work. It demands brutal honesty. It forces you to confront parts of yourself that are weak, reactive, or attached. But if you stay on it, if you commit fully, you will become something rare in this world. A Stoic warrior, calm under pressure, immune to manipulation, detached from outcomes, focused, disciplined, feared by the shallow, respected by the wise. This is the kind of person the world unconsciously follows. You won't need to force it. You won't need to fake it. Power will flow to you because of who you have become. But this is a lifelong practice. The mind is a battlefield, and every day is a new fight. Keep training your attention. Keep building emotional immunity. Practice detachment. Fortify your inner fortress. Stay 2 steps ahead by understanding dark psychology, and always move with integrity. This is how you build a power that no one can take from you. And as we end this video, I want you to make a final declaration. Type it below one last time. I am the master of my mind. Let this be your mantra moving forward. If you found this video valuable, do one more thing. Like this video, subscribe to Stoic Wind, and turn on notifications so you never miss another guide on mastering your mind and life through Stoic philosophy and dark psychology. This is only the beginning. The path ahead is long, but for those willing to walk it, greatness awaits. I'll see you in the next one.